Hello. In the previous video, we talked about the business process maturity. Taking the concept of business process maturity and levels, people have come up with different models that help organizations to improve their process, to go from level 1 to level 5. And there are essentially quite a lot of models, business process maturity models, more than we would need, I should admit. Each taking or following a different approach, in helping organizations to go from level 1 to level 5. They propose different type of structures and so on. So in this video, I'll be talking about a specific one, perhaps the most comprehensive one, OMG's business process maturity model. But before that, perhaps I should also name a few more, and particularly the other two that we'll cover in the next two videos. So the following ones are quite well known in the field of BPM, the ones that are most cited and most used. OMG's business process maturity model, as I just mentioned. By the way, you might know this thing called OMG. It's an association of project management group, and they publish standards for, particularly, I mean, in the BPM and also in other type of domains. And we have already been using, in fact, you have already been using another standard, very important standard that OMG has published, and that one would be the, which one? BPMN, business process model and notation. So BPMN and BPMM are all OMG standards, by the way. Anyway, so Hammer's process and enterprise maturity model, PEM model, and the BPM capability framework, which is also the model that's mentioned in several places in our book. And the last one, the McCormick's business process orientation maturity model, BPMMM, was also highly popular, but less these days. So I'll not be talking too much about that. In the next few videos, including this one, I'll very briefly go through the first three. So let's start with the first one, the BPMM, the one from the OMG. So let me perhaps close myself here. Okay, so this is the model in a nutshell, basically. OMG's BPMM, business process maturity model. It's a staged model, which means that it depicts general practices, or if we use the proper term, it depicts some process areas for organizations to perform at each maturity level. So you see, there are some kind of what we call process areas at each maturity level, excluding level 1. It assumes that level 1, they're just ad hoc, they're not processes and so on. So it starts at level 2 and at 3, 4, 5, it continues like that. And what this says is that there are and the model says the following: if you would like to be at level 2, you need to perform all these processes or process areas that are listed in level 2, and you have to do that properly. I mean, organization process leadership, for instance, organization business governance, and so on and so forth. You need to perform all these process areas properly if you would like to be at level 2. If you'd like to be at level 3, you have to perform the process areas listed at level 3 and also level 2. I mean, it just builds up on top of each other. If you would like to be at level 4, then you have to perform all the process areas in level 4 and also level 3 and level 2, and it goes like that. So at level 5, you have to be doing all these things. Okay, so I will basically not go through each process area here. I have prepared some material for each one of them in the handout you will receive. Here I would just like to focus on the process area threads, I mean the columns here. So there are 5 process area threads: organization process management, business management, domain work management, domain work performance, and organization support. So let me very briefly describe, starting with the domain work performance. So these process areas basically cover the practices related to companies' core business. It covers the actual development, preparation, deployment, delivery, and support of the products and or services. I mean, for instance, if you're producing bikes, the process regarding the production of the bike would be in this process area thread, okay? And more specifically, it will be covered by the product and service operations, by the way. The next one would be domain work management. Basically combines these process areas combines the practices related to the management of the core processes. I mean, in this case, for instance, management of the planning of the production, for instance. of bikes, if you follow the same example. Organizational business process management relates, or the process areas in this particular thread relates to the practices on the strategy, governance, resource management at the organization level. Organizational process management is a meta-level theme, and it relates to the improvement of the processes. Finally, organization support basically includes practices or process areas that support all practices in other threads. Again, more material will be in the handout slides. Basically, that is what I would like to say at this point about this particular maturity model. It is quite extensive. We're talking about a document of 500 pages and more, perhaps more. It's prescriptive. It really tells step by step how you as an organization can really improve and go from level 1 and level 4. That is my kind of personally my favorite maturity model, but it's quite extensive and very difficult to apply at the same time. So that is it for this part, for this model. I'll see more later in the next video. See you there.